Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and I'm excited to share with you bleaching tips for your hair care. A lot of people are thinking of like maybe trying out to bleach for themselves, and some don't really want to spend the money to go to a salon and have them bleach it by themselves. And I'm here to tell you and share to you that experience, but in a quick video only. So I just want to share to you the things I've learned and the tips I've learned throughout the years I've been bleaching my hair. And so far, as you can see right now, I haven't bleached my hair again yet. These are all like grown out, and then I just put like a light brown shampoo on my hair. That's why it has this shade, which is honestly adorable. I don't know if you guys should I just keep it this kind of color, or thinking of going lighter. That's why this inspired this video regarding the bleach hair. So the first one is how to use a 12% developer. Now, in bleaching, you need the developing powder or the bleaching powder and then developer. But the developer is, a lot of people don't really recognize what percentage do they need. And that's the mistake that I did before, because I didn't really do any research. I didn't really know any tips on how to handle and bleach my hair properly. So this is what I found out. So 12% developer is the strongest developer. I think it's usually the that's the 40 or the 60%. Some actually do it like that. You just search what's the meaning of the 12%. So there's the 12%, the 9%, and there's 6%. So the 6% is the lowest in the strength of how strong the developing process would be there. So in the 12% developer, I would suggest to have it in your mid length of the hair. I'm not saying on a mid-length haircut or a mid-length hair length of a person. No, as you can see here, the long hair, this is the mid-length. Usually this or up to here near the roots, like 1 inch to 2 inch away from the roots. That's your mid-length hair, usually before the end of the tips. That's when you use the 12%, because that's the slowest developing process. That's the thickness part of your hair, and it literally is so slow when it bleaches to white or to blonde or whatever color you're trying to bleach it through. So you have to make sure that it's at the mid-length if you want to be specific on how you're going to bleach your hair and not just going to use one type of developer. Because the problem is, what I did is I did a 12% because they did say it's the strongest, and then I use it all over my hair, like all over, and it was burned. I don't know if I have pictures of my hair that were like super burned, super, like I want to cry when it looks like that, because I really thought that it was rubbery, and I thought that I wouldn't have healthy hair again. So that like freaked me out. But yeah, that's a mistake that I want to prevent from you guys, and hopefully you guys didn't do it yet. So yeah, that's why I want to suggest the 12% here at the mid part of your hair. Now we'll go to the 9%. The 9%, usually it depends on how strong the coloring of your hair is, the real melanin of your hair. My hair has really strong melanin, and usually Asian people have really strong melanin or colored hair. So how dark their hair is really, really strong and really, really thick, that it's really hard to bleach out. So I did before, when I learned how to properly bleach my hair, I used the 9% at the roots as well as the tips. But with the tips, just like I diluted it a bit, or I didn't have it stay there long enough. But I did bleach the tips first before the roots, because the roots bleach quickly. So when you put a 9% there, it really bleaches really strongly. So you have to be careful with that. And then the next is the 6% developer. The 6% developer is for people who literally have like thin types of strand hair. Like their hair is not really thick, so the coloring is not as strong in there, or the melanin of the, I don't know if it's melanin, the color of the hair is not as strong. The darkness of it's not as strong, because you easily can strip it, because that's how thin or that's how fine the hair is. So you have to make sure to check what type of hair you actually have, to make sure that the 6% is good enough for your root, or for your ends and also your roots, because it just needs like a lesser strength of a developer, because you don't really need too much there, because it quickly heats here. It actually easily bleaches here very much. That's why it often happens to a lot of people, like when they bleach their hair, usually they try to put the roots first, and then after that the bottom, and then the ends. And then what happened is they have like this big yellow banding here, or they're like super white here, and then here is yellow. Oh, vice versa, like that. Like this is super yellow, and then here is like super white, and it feels like your hair is gonna fall off because you just put it there. And the mistake again of other people is, after they're not happy with how it was bleached because this is yellow, they bleach again the whole hair. So this part, the roots part, it's gonna weaken because it's right near your skin. It's going to pop out. Okay? So this is really detailed because I really, really wanted to share to you guys how much of an experience I have, the journey I have to learn and understand how to treat my hair, especially if I bleach it. Because I've been bleaching for like, I think 5 years. I did the whole bleaching process when I was already allowed to bleach my hair. It was so fun having blonde hair, but then I kind of stopped slowly, transition to going back to dark color or my natural color. So yeah. And then the next one is have an assistant. You actually need to have an assistant to color your hair. I know that some people maybe it's good for them to learn to apply the whole bleaching process by yourself. But like I said, if you're going to do the developer thing, it easily processes after you mix it with the bleaching powder. So it's like how do you, like when you're making an explosive, you have to make sure that the content will the mixture that you're going to mix it, you're not gonna mix them all together yet, especially the last part. I'm not sure what it is. Don't ask me. But when you put it there, it's going to already trigger the explosive. So that's the same with the developer or the bleaching, because it is fire. It is like process of heating and removing and stripping the color of your hair. So the process there is it's heat, so it tends to like literally burn your hair. So you really need an assistant, because it can, if it suddenly goes to your eye or like the bangs, then you bleach it already and then it goes to your eye, then it'll be a problem for you. So at least need an assistant. If you're someone, maybe, I think for me, I actually did it with my hair when it was super short. So it wasn't really that of an issue for me. I was able to bleach my hair quickly because also there was not much hair to bleach, and it was quicker to process because I could easily just apply it here. And then finally the roots. Then the next one is try to comb bleach the roots. Now this is not super effective, honestly, especially if you're a person who wants like a bit of roots transition here. Now I did this only once for myself, just to experiment it. So what I did was I used a comb and dipped it in the bleach item or bleaching set, and then I just comb my hair, or the one near the roots, so that when it bleaches, it's just going to be like strands type, like strips, so it's not going to be so harsh of a gap when it grows to the black hair already. So it kind of like transition, but it's not as good. But I would suggest that just in case you don't want to have that harsh banding, that harsh root band that you're going to see when it grows already, especially if you're the person who doesn't like to reapply or retouch your roots. Then something very important is always have a cap. Aside from an assistant, you need to have a protection cap for your hair, especially if you like really have long hair, or other people who have like mid-length hair, because it's going to be on your face and you have to avoid putting the bleach near your skin. That's why you also have to, test the bleaching set that you buy, because you don't know if you're allergic to that type of bleaching content or the developer itself. So you have to make sure of that. So a bleaching cap protects your hair. You just cover it all over and then make sure that it's hidden away from your face when it's processing. And you have to follow the processing of it, of how long it needs to process. Maybe you could set it, let it sit for a while more, but you have to just follow the instructions just to make sure that it's safe also for yourself. Then another one is thick, sturdy gloves. Now, that's why I'm saying this, because usually the content of a lot of bleaching set doesn't really have like super thick gloves. I would suggest like the black one that's like really thick or really nice. Have that, but not too thick that you won't really feel like you will able to spread your hair properly. So you have to make sure that it's enough, it's a strong gloves, but it's not going to just wreck easily, but it's also not too thick that you can't really feel how you're going to apply it on your hair. Especially other people, they just use their gloves or their hands with the gloves to literally apply that. And yes, I'm guilty here. I did that. So I'm telling you now, use like good gloves, because if it goes to your skin, it's gonna burn. And sometimes, yeah, it happens and it hurts. Or it's like itchy, and I don't like that feeling. Then something important that I also mentioned to one of my hair care routines before was have your conditioner ready. Because after you wash that bleach, your hair is going to be super, super dry. And you need to make sure that after you wash it, after you maybe have a subtle shampoo on it to wash the excess bleaching set on your hair, you have to have your conditioner because you need to deepen that conditioner. And if you're going to put the conditioner, additional tip is make sure your hair is like not so wet, so that the conditioner will really grab to your hair itself and not to the water that we're going to slide the content or the moisturizer. So it's not really going to help your hair that's already been burned and bleached. So you need to treat it properly, and you have to also make sure to, learn those little things. Then finally, this one is just something the same as the instruction earlier, is leave the bleach until the heat disappears or dissipates. Because some people actually just remove it after the 28 to the 25 to the 30 minutes. I honestly don't. Really, I don't. Do you know why? Because it's still processing there. Especially if you do the correct processing of how you're going to use the developer. Like, it's divided between the 9 or 6 and then 12%, and then here is 9 or 6 again. If you do that, follow that, and the heat will properly, bleach your hair properly, or somehow close enough that you're not going to bleach again like super. And you have to make sure to check also the next time after rebleaching your hair, because you need to still have your hair rest for a while before you bleach it again. So making sure that you keep the heat, because before I actually used the like until 1 hour, but it didn't really damage my hair like at all. It was just like, okay, I left it for 1 hour and then I had deep conditioner and that was fine. So yeah. And so those are the major items that I need you to learn or to remember when you're going to already try to bleach your hair. I'm still not sure if I'm going to rebleach my hair anytime soon. I will take a video of that officially. Hopefully, actually, I wish I did before when I was short, when I had short hair, because it was easier to take a video of. But yeah, aside from that, I hope you like this. I hope you list down the items. If you're not, just watch this video again so that you could check and find out how to bleach your hair properly. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye guys! Like and subscribe.